The glass slab in your pocket is officially on life support, and by 2030, it may be extinct. We're moving beyond handheld screens into an era of ambient computing, where your physical world becomes the interface. Forget speculative sci-fi. We're breaking down the real prototypes, patents, and neural links currently in development that are already starting to replace the smartphone. Here are the 10 technologies most likely to make your current device look like a museum relic. Let's count them down. Number 10. Passive Ambient AI Assistance. The first shift away from the smartphone isn't a new gadget at all. It's the disappearance of the screen entirely. Ambient intelligence describes a home, office, or car that responds to you automatically, powered by the kind of always listening, context-aware AI models that matured around 2026. Instead of pulling out a phone to check the weather, adjust the lights, or start the coffee maker, sensors embedded in the walls and furniture read your routine and simply act. Several smart home companies are already piloting fully hardware-free living spaces, where the interface is just the room itself responding to your presence, your voice, and even subtle changes in your daily patterns. The bigger cultural shift researchers point to is this. Instead of periodically pulling out a device to interact with the digital world, you start passively living inside a web of ambient responses, and the phone, for many small daily tasks, simply becomes unnecessary. Number 9. Gesture and voice-controlled environments. Building directly on ambient intelligence is a more active layer. Environments that respond to gesture and voice as naturally as touch responds on a screen today. Instead of unlocking a phone and opening an app, a simple hand motion in the air can scroll through a shared display, dim a room, or answer a call. Voice has already replaced typing for millions of daily tasks, but the next step researchers are working toward is combining voice with spatial gesture tracking, so a flick of the wrist or a raised palm carries as much precision as a tap on glass. The appeal is speed and immediacy. No unlocking, no searching for the right icon. If ambient AI is the environment quietly listening, gesture and voice control is you actively directing it. No screen required at any point in the interaction. Number 8. AR Smart Contact Lenses. Now we move from environment to eye. Companies like Mojo Vision have spent years developing smart contact lenses that project a high-definition interface directly onto the retina. Notifications, navigation arrows, translated text, all appearing to float in your field of vision without any visible screen at all. Early prototypes have focused on tiny embedded displays, micro batteries, and wireless charging cases that double as contact lens storage overnight. The technical challenge has always been miniaturization, fitting a display, a chip, and a power source onto something thinner than a fingernail and safe enough to sit on the human eye. But as materials science and micro-LED technology continue to shrink, engineers increasingly expect a consumer version within this decade. At which point, looking down at a phone screen may feel as outdated as checking a pocket watch. Number 7. Lightweight AR Smart Glasses. While contact lenses represent the most extreme miniaturization, smart glasses are the nearer-term, more practical stepping stone. And prototypes like Apple's rumored Glass project point to where the market is heading. Unlike the bulky, heavy headsets of early virtual reality, the 2027-era generation of AR glasses is designed to look and feel like ordinary eyewear, projecting a heads-up display that overlays maps, messages, and translations directly onto your normal field of view. One underrated benefit engineers highlight constantly: solving the modern text neck epidemic caused by millions of people looking down at phones for hours a day. By bringing digital information back up to eye level, smart glasses promise a more natural posture and, proponents argue, a healthier long-term relationship between humans and their devices. Number 6. Non-invasive brain-computer interfaces. Here's where things start to feel genuinely futuristic. Non-invasive brain-computer interfaces use external sensors, often built into headbands, earbuds, or even glasses, to read electrical activity from the brain without any surgery at all. The consumer-grade versions emerging today build on years of clinical research, aiming to let users perform simple digital actions, like scrolling a page or selecting an option, purely through focused thought or subtle neural signals. It's a meaningful bridge between today's touchscreens and tomorrow's fully implanted neural devices. Researchers are quick to note that non-invasive interfaces are currently limited to simple binary or directional commands rather than full thought-to-text conversion. But even that limited capability removes the need for a keyboard, a touchscreen, or a mouse entirely for basic navigation. Number 5. Direct neural implants. At the more extreme end of brain-computer interfacing sits direct neural implantation, technology most famously associated with Neuralink's early clinical trials, which have focused on restoring communication and device control for patients with severe paralysis. The long-term ambition described by researchers in this space goes far beyond medical use. A fully implanted chip capable of translating raw thought into digital text, or letting a user mentally scroll through a feed with no physical movement required at all. This is the technology that most directly eliminates the smartphone's core physical action, typing, replacing it with pure intent. It remains, for now, a heavily regulated and clinically supervised technology, but the trajectory researchers describe is a gradual expansion from essential medical restoration today toward broader consumer applications by the end of the decade. Number 4. Personal holographic projectors. Moving from the body back out into the room, holographic projection is emerging as the technology most likely to replace the smartphone specifically as a media and communication screen. Laser-based and plasma-induced 3D projectors are being developed that can render a shared digital object, a document, a video call, a 3D model, floating in physical space where multiple people can view it simultaneously, rather than everyone crowding around one 6-inch screen. Unlike a phone display, which is fundamentally private and single-user, a hologram is inherently social. It exists in the shared space of a room. Engineers working on this technology argue that once the resolution and brightness of laser projection catch up to flat-panel displays, the entire concept of a personal handheld screen for group viewing becomes redundant. Number 3. 6G-powered holographic telepresence. None of this holographic ambition works without the network to support it, which is where 6G connectivity comes in. While current wireless networks struggle with the massive data demands of real-time 3D rendering, the 6G standard is being engineered specifically with lag-free holographic telepresence in mind, letting a coworker on the other side of the planet appear, in 3 dimensions, sitting across the table from you in real time. This is the technology researchers point to as the true successor to the video call, and by extension, a major reason people stop reaching for a phone to stay socially and professionally connected. Combined with spatial computing, software that understands and maps physical rooms in real time, 6G is expected to make localized, shared holographic experiences practical for remote work and everyday social life well before the end of the decade. Number 2. Wearable skin patches and bioimplants. As we approach full human integration, wearable technology is expected to shrink from wrist-worn devices down to something closer to a temporary tattoo. Flexible skin patches, already being tested for continuous health monitoring, can track heart rate, glucose levels, hydration, and stress markers directly from the skin's surface, feeding that data silently to whatever ambient system is managing your environment. The next step being explored is deeper integration. Subdermal bioimplants capable of managing not just health data, but also identity and access, effectively replacing the need to carry a phone as a key, a wallet, or an ID card. Researchers in this space frame the roadmap plainly. By 2030, staying connected may no longer require carrying, charging, or even purchasing a separate device at all. Number 1. The Final Convergence, bio-integrated identity and connectivity. And so we arrive at the technology researchers describe as the true endpoint of this entire decade-long shift. Not a single gadget, but a full convergence of everything on this list into one bio-integrated system. Imagine a world where ambient AI reads your environment, smart lenses handle your visual interface, a neural link manages your commands, and a subdermal implant confirms your identity and manages your connectivity, all working together with zero handheld hardware involved at any point. In this vision, the smartphone isn't replaced by one single device. It's replaced by the disappearance of the device altogether, absorbed into the human body and the environment around it. Analysts studying this convergence describe the socioeconomic shift as arguably bigger than the original smartphone revolution itself. A world where staying online is simply a condition of being alive, rather than something you buy, charge, and carry in your pocket. From ambient rooms to bio-integrated implants, the technologies on this list all point to the same ending. The smartphone's days, as we know it, are numbered. Which one of these do you think will actually arrive first? Let us know in the comments. And subscribe, because the next top 10 is coming soon.